Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors on the back balls behind me. If you are going to do a bit of business, then please keep it in the Millwall family and check out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. Now, this is your pre-match prediction, the first of 2 games in 5 days at the Den, which could define and ultimately save our season. We are at home to high-flying West Bromwich Albion. Let's take a look at the 11 that I think Neil Harris will pick to start the match. So I'm pretty confident by now. There is a slight doubt in my mind, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be 4-5-1 with Dave Martin in goal, Marlon Romeo at right back, James Meredith at left back, Alex Pearce with Jake Cooper alongside of him. Central midfield, it will be Ben Thompson, Ryan Tunnicliffe and Ryan Leonard with Jeb Wallace wide right, Ben Marshall wide left, and up front as a lone striker, Lee Gregory. Is that the 11 that I would pick? No, it's not far off. It's not a bad side. The problems I've got, well, a massive problem for us at the minute is conceding goals. Now, you know, we're scoring goals. That's not a problem. We've scored 6 goals in our last 3 games. 2 of those are away games. The other one was against a Premiership club. So scoring goals isn't the problem for us. And this may sound harsh, but at right back, Marlon Romeo, who I watched the game in full last week. You might get a different perspective from being there. But from what I saw, I watched the whole game online. I was singing Marlon's praises. He was doing very well. He had a hand in both of our goals going forward. And then the mistake he makes for their second goal is Sunday football standards. Sorry, it is. I love Marlon, and I've said it time and again. He's going to be a fantastic player, and I think he's a player that will be better suited not playing a 4-4-2. But for their second goal, if you see the ball drop to him, it's what I go mad about with the kids. He's just got his head down. He just whacks it first time. He's got to have a look up. He had time to do something with it. He kicks it straight to Leeds' winger, who in turn knocks it back in the box. Bang! It's 2-2. Left back James Meredith. You know, it sounds like I'm burying everyone, but James Meredith is gone, shot to bits, and can't play this standard of football anymore, unfortunately, because he was a great player for us last season. But with Shane Ferguson suspended and Murray Wallace out for the rest of the season, we have no choice but to play James Meredith there. So yeah, I consider bringing in McLaughlin, if I'm honest. You know, again, okay, he's not that quick, and he doesn't excite us going forward, but we're not struggling going forward. We need to consolidate and stop conceding goals, especially silly fucking goals, especially goals from out wide, which keeps happening. So I consider bringing in Conor McLaughlin just to make the back four a little bit more, sturdy, a little bit more. Your defensive players haven't got to be exciting. They haven't got to be brilliant. You haven't got to see them bombing forward and overlapping. Not in a 4-4-2. Doesn't happen. It shouldn't happen that way. Primarily, your first job is to defend, and for that reason, I consider bringing Conor McLaughlin back in. I'd also bring the big dog back in, Sean Hutchinson, for Alex Pearce. Nothing against Pearce, but originally the gaffer changed it and brought Pearce in for Hutchinson. His explanation behind that, and he was right to say so, is because we was leaking a lot of goals, which we still are. And I just think it could be time to go back to the grind, go back to basics, and try and get the partnership of Cooper and Hutchinson working as well as it did last season. In the midfield, it will be a midfield 5. Ben Thompson trained this week after being taken off injured at Leeds, so it's looking like he's going to be fit. He has to play. He is the guy that's going to spearhead our survival charge, and what a player he's become. I can't speak highly enough of him. It's just a phenomenal change in a man. Ben Thompson's gone away to Pompey, come back. Twice the player, 3 times the player, but also a different type of player to what he was, and he has now scored 3 goals in his last 2 league games. So if he's fit, he has to start. I think the gaffer will stick with Tunnicliffe, and I think he'll stick with Leonard. Again, I'm trying so hard to like these two, and I've got to say again, Ryan Leonard at Leeds, maybe I'm magnifying their performances too much because but I want them to do well. At times he did help balls into pointless areas. Watch him, he'll do it Saturday. I guarantee he'll come to him, he'll just whack it on. But I've got to say, in the second half especially again, I thought Ryan Leonard did okay. I think you can only play Leonard or you can only play Tunnicliffe. Tunnicliffe again, he got back in, he was doing okay. I honestly, I'm not just saying this, I didn't see him touch the ball at Leeds. I see him have a shot with his left foot in the first half that went miles over the bar, and I see him lay a secondary pass off about 3 yards to someone. I want to like Tunnicliffe, I really do, but I just, the game was getting commentated on. I didn't mention his name once, I didn't know he was on the pitch. And with those two, I think you can only play one of them. If you're going to have a midfield 3, as I said before, you need someone to break the play up, you need someone to distribute it, and you need someone to bomb on, join in with a forward and the wide players. Now, for me, you can only play Tunnicliffe or Leonard if you had to play one of them, I don't really care. Take your pick. I will personally play Ben Thompson, Jed Wallace, and either probably on the back of last Saturday Leonard or Sean Williams alongside them. For me, Jed's got to play central. I thought he was shocking last week, and again, I wasn't there, but he gave away the penalty for the first goal, Jed, and he was responsible directly for their equaliser. We was on the attack 3-on-2, and his poor pass, which wasn't a hard one, he gives the ball away, and Leeds end up scoring as a result. But I love Jed. I can't fault him. He's one of those who will keep us in the division because he's not afraid to try different things. He realises he is pivotal to us, and he works so fucking hard for the team. But I think out wide, not getting as many touches of the ball he would like, he gets frustrated and he doesn't get into the game as much as he should. And if he's getting more of the ball, he's more confident on the ball, and his passing and his distribution will be a lot better. So I'd play, let's go for it. I'd go with Williams, Thompson and Jed as a central three. Then I'd stick Marshall wide right, and I'd stick Aidan O'Brien wide left. I think big performances against Everton at home and Brighton at home in the FA Cup from Aidan coming in from wide left. For me, that's the team I'll go with Lee Gregory up front. I'll stick it on the screen. That's the team I'll go with right there. Just staying on the subject of our team before I go on to the opposition, the substitutions, I'm not even talking about substitutions that are coming on the pitch. The substitutions that are on the bench very limit our chances of getting back into a game. I've said it before, you've got to have a goalkeeper on the bench. You've got to probably have a centre defender and a centre midfielder. But then you need different types of players in case you want to affect the game in different ways coming off the bench. You can't have O'Brien, Morrison and Tom Elliott all on the bench. It's pointless. There's no point having all three of them. O'Brien, okay, you'd have him because he can play wide left if need be, or wide right. There's no point having Elliott and Morrison on the bench. It's pointless. Because all you're going to do, Gaffer, is we are losing. You're going to stick 4 up front like Holloway used to do. And it doesn't work like that. You've got to work as a team to get up the pitch, to give the forwards the chances. If we're losing a game, I mean, I may stand corrected. I may sound myself like a fucking idiot. But how many games have we come from behind this year and won through substitution we've made? Hull in the FA Cup comes straight to me. But that was in that day, he made a triple substitution and he changed things about. Going like for like or just sticking 4 forwards on at the end of the game does not work. And that is why you need variety on the bench. And I keep saying it and it's boring, I know, but Fred will give you something different coming off the bench, a bit of pace. Even Scanak, maybe he's not the greatest, but it's something different than to having 3 like for like forwards who are very, very similar. It limits your opportunity to get back into a game with having substitutes all from the same position. For me, it doesn't make any sense. So let's move on to the opposition. Of course, it is West Bromwich Albion, relegated last year from the Premier League. Randomly sacked Darren Moore when they was 4th in the division. Strange decision to sack Darren Moore. They came down for the Premier League. As I've said, it's not easy getting back into the bigger league at the first time of asking, as we've experienced previously going into League One and getting stranded there for a few years. It's probably even harder to get back into the Prem for the quality of teams fighting to get back for those top places. I mean, if you look at our top 8 in the division in a minute, some of the sides there, are frighteningly big clubs and good clubs. So Darren Moore gets sacked. They was doing well. Then they play 3 games. They lose at home to Sheffield United 1-0. They get hammered against Leeds away 4-0. But funnily enough, the final straw was when they drew 1-1 at home to Ipswich. And Darren Moore was sacked. A lot of rumours going around. Some people saying, oh, it's a racial thing. I could get in trouble for stuff I'll say. But for me, because he was black, I don't buy into that. I'm sorry. Why would you give, if you're racist, why would you give him the job in the first place? You don't hire a black man to fire a black man or anyone from any race or any religion. Just throw that out there. But yeah, I can't see it's a racial thing. Why give him the job in the first place? If you're racist, it wouldn't happen. But since he's been gone, James Sean has taken over, and he is, so far, he's a 100% record. They have won 3 out of their 3 games with him in charge. They still sit 4th in the league, and they're 11 points clear of Derby in 7th. So they're sitting pretty for the playoffs, if nothing else. The one to watch for them, there's a few, they've got good players in their side, but it's going to be Dwight Gale, scores a lot of goals, scored against us earlier in the season when they beat us 2-0 at the Hawthorns, and he will be the one to watch this Saturday at the Den. So this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go on the back of some very good and encouraging performances from our side lately up until the 80th minute as per usual. I have got a feeling that we're going to do the business this weekend. It's now or never for us. It is shit or bust. We are dropping further down the table. We are 21st and only 1 point above the relegation zone. But I really feel 6 or 4 points from our next 2 games, Saturday and then at home to QPR next Wednesday, can define and save our season. As I've already said, I am going to go for a 2-1 Millwall win with Lee Gregory and Jed Wallace to get the goals, pull us out of shit and send the den into raptures. So that is your lot for this pre-match prediction. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please check out the fan score predictions from the other boys at Lions TV, which has also gone out tonight on our YouTube channel, and put your score predictions in the comments below. Just quickly, a little bit of a shameless plug. We were nominated for the National Football Blogging Awards. There was no national, we just made it sound a little bit better. We were in the Best Club Content Creator category, and drumroll, worst drum roll ever, but we've made the final. Please, please vote for us. The final is at the end of the season at Manchester City. You can vote on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'll put the links in the description below. I'll see you at the Den Saturday. Please try and get down there, because as we've seen so many times in the past, and it's a proven scientific fact, that getting a big crowd down at Den does lift the players. And, you know, let's get down there. We owe it to them after the good 3 years we've had. Now things ain't so good. Let's get down to Den, boys and girls. I'll see you there Saturday. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.